Hey, good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls and I'm your host. And today I have the spectacular Dawn Dahlby on the show. You guys are going to love this gal. So if you would do me a favor, and before we go any further, click that share button from whatever platform you're watching and share this out. And let's get 1.7 million people watching this today. Okay. Thank you guys. And we'll see you in a minute. All right, here we go. Let me bring Dawn on. Dawn, how are you?
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Wednesday today, I think, right? It's Wednesday.
You know what day it is? Mike.
It
Yes.
It's Walls Wednesday.
That's right. So, Dawn, thank you for being here. I'm so grateful to have you here. We met through our mutual friends, Esther and Sherry. Well, it was Esther, really, but so thank you, Esther, for the introduction. And I see that my buddy Jose, he is so good at sharing, like, because he understands the laws of the universe.
Yes, Jose, thank you. Hashtag shared. Love it.
Hashtag shared, yeah. So, Dawn, this show is about helping people have a breakthrough in life through the stories of other people. And I'm sure you have an amazing story. So I want to hear it. So start with telling everybody where you were born and raised.
You want that boring information? Haha.
It's let's start there. And we have my buddy Joaquin joining us from hell.
Where's hell? Norway?
It's in Norway.
That's paradise.
It's a real place. Yes.
I'm Norwegian. So howdy.
No.
And, of course, because I was born in the Midwest, in Wisconsin, where all the Norwegian people are born. And they migrated halfway across the United States, of course. But yeah, born and raised in a little town in the middle of Wisconsin, in the middle of the Midwest, called Holmen. So I grew up in a town of 2,000 people.
Wow. Huge.
Just a few years ago. I might be in my second half of my life. Let's just say I am, but I was born in the early 70s.
Look, he says that Dahlby is a very Norwegian family name.
And by the way, my grandparents' name was actually Simonson. And when they came over, like back in the day, when they came over on the boat, there was too many Simonson, so they changed their name to Dahlby. So maybe a lot of Norwegians did that. I don't know, but that is my name. That's my maiden name. I am married, but the married name is Croatian, and it's really hard to pronounce. So I still go with the Dahlby.
Wow. You're like, I'm not marrying you unless you change your name to my name.
Exactly. And that's what they do now.
Some of them that.
Yeah, right?
I mean, it's 2023.
I've been married for 27 years as of last Thursday. I married my high school sweetheart. We've been together for 36 years. We met in Holmen, Wisconsin, this little bitty town in
oh my gosh.
Yes, and we still are together after all of these years. So I could still tell I could change my name legally.
That's so funny. So, well, you'll have to look up hell because it does it really is a place. I mean, I told him one time, I said, Joaquin, you can just go to hell. And he's like, I'm already here. So
walking. I want to come to hell with you because I really want to get back. I hear it's just
It's
stunning
beautiful.
there.
It's so
Mhm.
beautiful. It's so I've
Yes.
seen the videos. So
But that's
anyway, we could talk about,
yes.
geography all day, or we could talk about you.
Okay. Or us.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
how about you? Because this is
Okay.
about you. So you were born in Wisconsin. You're a cheesehead, right?
Yes. Yes. Not a
I mean,
beer head, but I love cheese, but no beer. Wisconsin's
yeah,
known for its beer too, but mm-mm.
yeah. Yeah, I don't do beer either. So what was, I mean, that's a tiny town. I grew up in like there were 80 kids in my graduating class in high
Mhm.
school, which is
Small.
probably 50 more than yours. Um,
Mhm.
I don't
Probably.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up there for you?
Um, Cold.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the Midwest. The people I'm a big fan of. I think there's
Yeah.
awesome, hardworking, down to earth, salt of the earth people. Um, but
Yeah.
it was just too small for me. I have a lot of energy.
No.
I remember growing up and always feeling kind of limited in terms of what we could do and have and be. And so I spent my first 18 years there, and then I moved up to Minneapolis, which was the next biggest town or city, I
You're
should
like, it's
say.
not cold enough here. Let me move a
Right.
little further north.
But back in my day, it was, because we didn't live like we live today. Like the world was a lot smaller back in our day. So just going
Yeah.
2 hours north was a big deal. So moved to Minneapolis and then was like, whoa, people live differently. There's more opportunity. Like, how do people? I remember in a little suburb of Minneapolis. Actually, it wasn't a little suburb, it was a bigger suburb. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, how do people have these big houses? What do they do for a living? Because what I know was that we all just live in this little box and we all have these small homes and this small lifestyle, which is not bad for some people. It just didn't
Right.
work for me. Right? It's not a
Right.
right or wrong. It just wasn't my vibe. And I just wanted to experience more. So I moved to Minneapolis when I was about 18, 19 years old and got to experience some more of the bigger city and then realize all of the opportunity that was awaiting for me there.
Yeah. So, did you graduate from high school, I'm assuming, and
Of course. Back in high
no,
school, oh my gosh. You know what? I'm telling you, I was like the most popular kid in high school. And it's because I was such a like I called myself a fearfully driven human being. I didn't love myself enough until I got out external accolades from other people for them to say, "Oh, Dawn, look at you. Your prom, your homecoming queen, your, band majorette, your I did I what was it? State champion in track 2 years in a row. Like I had to be the best at everything I was in. And when you're back in the 70s and there wasn't like we didn't go deep and narrow with one sport, you got to experience everything. So I had to be the
right,
best at everything because it filled me up. So
right,
and I'm competitively naturally, but I did have to get that external validation from other people to love myself because I had low self-esteem.
why do
No
you
one knew it.
suppose you had that?
Um I think we model our parents' behaviors, and I think I was just
Uh,
modeling my mother's behavior, and that's all I knew, right? And
right,
so I think some of it's modeling. I think some of it's genetic. I think anxiety and fear. Anxiety runs in the family. I think fear runs in every single family. But I just think I was modeling my mother's behavior and didn't know anything else.
right, right.
Robert, low self-esteem is a popular club. It is. It is a popular club, and I'm on this planet now to change that.
Right. So, and me too. And so, um, so you had low self-esteem. That's a little bit surprising to me. Um, so because I've been there, like I bought the t-shirt. I actually probably sold the t-shirts, but like when you were because here's the thing. I believe that 99+% of everything we do as adults stems from someone or something, an event, something in our childhood pushes us in the direction that we become as adults. I truly believe that. Uh, so
I
I
agree with
like to kind of just look at like what was going on, what I mean, why so much drive to be the best in everything?
yeah, and again, I have analyzed this until I have green. Um, and I think it's a whole combination of things. I do think, it's our brains are formed in the early ages of, in our informative years.
Yeah,
So they say what we believe about ourselves is typically formed by the time we're age 6, or a lot of it
right.
is. So I think it's somewhat of the brain development. I think it's modeling the behaviors of our parents, which that's the only role models we have when we're young.
Yeah.
I also believe it's genetic. And I think and it's also personality. Like, so when you take personality, genetics, how our brains are developed, the environment that we're in, and you take those 4 things and you swirl them up in a big pot of soup, you're going to get pain, you're going to get
Yeah.
challenges, you're going to get all of the negative things
Yeah.
in life. And because of the way our brains are formed, then we take that with us into adulthood. If we don't like deal with it, become self-aware, and really go through that personal development. So I think it's a whole cocktail. And we can talk about that too, because that's another reason when we can talk about cocktails. My mother was an alcoholic, and because of all of her things, right? And so that's how she dealt with her pain. I dealt with my pain a little bit differently. I don't deal with it through cocktails. I deal with it through growing in the personal development and pushing through that anxiety and fear. But I do think, to
Sure.
answer your question, it comes down to this whole, cocktail, or the soup mix of all. It's complex, right? And then we take
Yeah.
that with us into adulthood, and then our
Yeah.
pain becomes passion.
Amen. I agree.
Eric?
There's
Okay, Eric, your parents didn't ruin you. So can I take a minute here? Eric, your
Eric
parents,
is
most our parents have good intentions, just like me as a parent. You as a parent, can, like, we all have the best intentions for the
yep.
most part.
Yes.
Um, we do our best. However, I do believe that we all carry pain from our childhood, but it's our responsibility to not become the victim. And Eric, you could have been kidding, right? You're just, because you put LOL on there. But I
He's
do
not
want
kidding.
He's whatever. He probably is kidding, but I'm glad you brought this up, Eric, because it's so important for us to understand that we all have stuff from childhood, but it's our responsibility as adults to not become that victim of it, and to fix it, and know that we are a product of how we think and how we react to life's circumstances.
I agree. Joe Ingram, my parents ruined.
Yes, Joe.
So
Yes, Joe. Exactly.
and Joe's friends with Sherry and Esther as well.
Oh,
So there was obviously something that made you, and I get it, I can totally relate to it. I grew up in an alcoholic home. I, however, took the alcoholic route and became one. Just thought, why not? And actually I didn't really think about it. But I'm now recovered 21 years almost. So
woo! Yes,
right,
awesome.
right.
Yeah.
So talk, and I get the self-esteem, I get the working on yourself, and I remember reading Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins and all of that back in the, you know, late 80s,
Yeah.
probably. And the shift I started feeling back then, like, oh my God, there's hope for me. Can you relate to that? Like, because I walked out of high school in 12th grade and never went back, right? And I remember feeling so insecure, even when I was making millions of dollars a year in my late 20s. I was like, I still felt like the lowest piece of crap on earth
Mhm.
inside. And I remember hearing Brian Tracy say that he didn't graduate high school. And I was like, Brian Tracy didn't graduate high school? Then, you know, maybe there's hope for me. I can remember just a little smidgen of hope. But talk about when you got out of high school. Did you go to college?
Yes, I went to college for a couple of years. Oh, hold on. That Prince went to college too. Come here, Prince. You want to go to college? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come
Oh
here.
my
The
gosh.
landscapers are here, and of course, the dogs are barking. So come here.
It's
Come here, Prince.
okay. It's fine.
So
We all have dogs.
we all have dogs, and I have look at
Yeah.
this one. This is Grandpa Milo. He's quiet on my lap, and then I got this little Yorkie that's ready to like get everybody, and he's 4
I
pounds.
know.
Um,
I know.
so yes, I went to college in for a couple of years studying to be a music educator. And if because I didn't know myself, I had no direction, I had no clue on what I wanted to do with my life. And if I would have graduated and went into music education, those poor kids, because I would have been a horrible music educator, horrible. So I went to
Right.
college for 2 years. I dropped out, and I remember, like, if I was going to drop out from college, man, I got to do something really good. So you're going to laugh, but I went and performed singing and dancing on a cruise ship. And I did that for about 3 different cruise ships because I was
Wow.
like, I don't know what I want to do with my life and I need to do something. So I went and did that before I went back to school and got my college degree.
But wait, hold on. Like, where was your husband? Where was
Well,
your
okay.
husband slash boyfriend that you've known since you were born or whatever? Like, where was
Yeah.
he? Did y'all break
He
up?
For like a day we broke up, but not really because I went on the cruise. So he went to college with me, and then I went on the cruise ship. And 6 months later, 6 months later, while I was singing and dancing on a cruise ship, one of the guys in our show quit. So I called the producer and said, "Hey, can you hire my husband? He'd be a perfect fit, or my boyfriend, and he'd be a perfect fit." And they brought him on, like, because he's actually more talented than I am from a singing
Wow.
perspective. And so he came on the cruise ships with me, and we did them together then.
Oh my God.
I know,
Wow.
crazy,
That's
crazy.
crazy. Where was your didn't don't I mean, did you have like an address, like a permanent address anywhere or
Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bahama Lane. I don't know, like you're in the middle of the ocean. You don't have an address.
no, like you didn't have like what if somebody wants to mail you a birthday card?
They back in the day, to even connect on a phone call on a cruise ship, it would cost $14
A
for
minute.
1 minute.
Yeah, I know.
$14 a minute. And it's so funny because that we're talking about this because my husband right now and my oldest daughter, they're on a Disney cruise as we speak.
Oh
And
my
I was talking to them on their cell phone, on the cell phone the other day. I was like, it's clear you're in the middle of the Bahamas. Like I can
yeah,
hear everything. And it's not costing us anything different, like anything more for doing that call. Like I just thought
isn't that
it's just
crazy?
where we've come.
I
Yeah.
know. We've
So
come a long
no
way.
address, barely could call and talk to people. And it was just back in the, when was that? The
Wow.
early 90s. It was the early 90s. And you
Wow.
don't get presents. Yeah.
No. Wow. That's
And
crazy.
yeah. That's
So
long.
you did that. How long did you do that? Did you say a few years?
Yeah, I did it for a couple. We did 3 different ships, so on and off, probably a year and a half ish, 2 years
Oh,
maybe, and then I went back to school in Minneapolis and graduated with a college degree just so I could say I got a degree. I hated school. I hated it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Mm.
So what'd you get a degree in?
I
Dancing and singing and
No, I knew that wasn't me into the lifestyle I wanted. So I got a degree. I actually was able to create my own degree. You can do that at the University of Minnesota. So it was called a Bachelor's of Individual Studies, and it was finance, management, and theater. And again,
wow.
I just got a degree to check the box. So I was just like, I'm just going to make my own up and get a degree in these 3 areas. So literally that's what I did.
It real back though, I suspect we're not too far apart in age. Back then it was like everybody went to college. Like it was like you had to almost. I mean, I
Right.
didn't, but you know, I'm a lot different in that way. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was a
And it's
bit of a rebel.
Well, but remember, I mean, it was all because our parents, like my parents didn't go to college. So that's why they were pushing us to go to college,
Yeah,
right? They wanted something better for us. And I understand
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but it was the time.
Look, Eric said I made my own degree up also.
Eric, what is your degree? What is his degree in? He made it up. Let's hear the next comment, Eric.
He does not have a degree.
No, that's what
He
I'm
might.
saying. Yeah, Harvard.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, excuse me. So you get your degree, you're still in freezing cold. I had it's a long, I won't go into the whole story, but one I was on Delta Airlines and I won't even go into that either, but I had a layover in Minneapolis going to Columbus, Ohio from there. And they got in too late and I missed my connection flight. So they're like, we're going to put you up in a hotel and be back here at 5:30 in the morning. I said, it's 1:00 in the morning. I'm not coming back here at 5. Like, get me a different flight. Are you guys crazy? What's wrong with you? And I had to spend the night in Minneapolis. And yes, I just said I had to. I came from Vegas where it was like 170,000 degrees to Minneapolis at 1:00 in the morning. And it was really not warm there. And I was
What month
not
was it?
prepared. I don't
What month?
remember. I know that it was like 30 degrees outside,
Yeah.
and I'm standing out there in shorts and a t-shirt waiting on Uber thinking this is not going to last. I'm going to freeze to death out here. Like it's just going to happen. So, it's cold there when it's
Freezing.
warm everywhere else.
Yes. That's why I moved. I'm sitting here in Scottsdale, Arizona now. I moved here 5 years ago because I think you go from the extreme cold to the extreme hot, right? You
Yeah.
want what you don't have. So, yes,
Yes.
I hear you.
I
Yes.
concur. So, okay, you get out of college, you have your fancy degree, and you went out and became a multimillionaire within the first year.
Yeah. The first year, I think my income was $24,000 as I still
Right.
didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I went into hospitality sales and I was
Oh,
offered a $24,000 job.
wow.
Um, And by the way, like I'm a little bit older at this point. I'm 25, 26 because I quit college and went on the cruise ship, right? So it's not like, yeah.
Yeah,
So a
yeah.
26-year-old just built up my first house, didn't know my head from my tail, and was like, okay, the cruise ship was like a hotel. I'm like,
Right.
well, that's all I know. So let's just go. Let's get into. I love people. Let's go into sales. I went into hospitality sales, earning $24,000 a year.
Wow.
Yep,
That's with a degree.
with a degree. Yes.
Did you like wake up every morning and go, I'm so glad I have this college degree and I get to make 24,000 a year?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to figure it out. Like, we didn't
I
have
know.
that's why I'm so passionate about helping people with their direction and, like, all the
Yes.
struggles, the breakthroughs that I've had to have with direction. I didn't have direction in my life, and I had to, like,
Right.
go left to go right and go right to go left and figure and waste time and just, like, all of these things,
Yeah.
and so I'm super passionate about helping people with their money direction and their life direction.
My buddy Tim Story says that all the time. Sometimes you got to go left to get right.
Mhm. We do, and we still
Uh,
do. I still go left to go right, still
yeah.
today, but the journey's a lot shorter and more productive. Like,
Sure.
right? But it
Yeah.
doesn't take years like it did before.
So you were in the hospitality sales industry, I'm assuming for 15, 20 years?
Yeah, because my driven personality just sat back and let it happen. No, I
That's so funny.
I know, I think it was 3 years at the most.
Oh,
3.
wow.
Uh-huh.
That
Oh,
that
yeah,
long.
yes, because I kept
Jeez.
moving up. I did like in hospitality sales, you start making commissions. So I started at $24,000 in that first year. I was like the highest sales producer. So, I think I ended up making, well, maybe 24,000 plus that. I remember my boss got me a Coach purse and took me out to lunch. Um, and then I got promoted and went into a base salary of 36,000, but I sold some things. And so I remember, like, in hospitality, with the extra conferences that I sold, companies coming into hospitality, I think I ended up at about 65,000, but it still wasn't cutting it. I was like, you know what? I married my high school sweetheart. He's a musician. I know that if you're not going to be famous, musician pay is pretty much like negative 10,000 because you have to buy all the instruments and all the things. And, like, there's not a
Yeah.
lot of money coming in. And I'm like, I have bigger aspirations of how I want to live my life. So I need to figure this out. And then I had a friend, a really dear friend and a neighbor that was in financial services. And I was watching his path and I'm like, wait, you're making 100 grand a year working 3 days a week? I'm like, sign me up for that. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right.
So I learned more about the financial planning and in personal finance and investing career. And in order to get into that type of industry, they don't really care about how much you know at that point. They just want to know that you are willing to put in the energy and the time to get certified and licensed. So at age 30, I started in personal finance, knowing nothing. I didn't even know what a freaking mutual fund was. I didn't know anything. All I knew is that I wanted more money and I wanted more lifestyle, and I needed to figure out how to make it work, and that my friend was making a lot of money not working 5 days a week. And so I was like, tell me more. So then I
Wow.
took the risk and figured it out.
So, are you talking like selling insurance?
Part of it was selling insurance, but really what it was is a comprehensive wealth planner. So what I have done for the last 24 years is help people out with their financial plan. So their savings, their spending, their protection, insurance, their investments, their taxes, their estate plan, their retirement plan, anything and everything related to the dollar. So I spent a couple years just diving in deep and
Wow.
figuring out all of the aspects about financial planning. And at that same, it was hard. It was a hard couple of years because not only do you have to be analytic
Yeah.
and naturally figure all that information out, but you also have to be selling yourself too. Like, you have to go out and bring on new clients. So you got to
Yep.
play with both sides of your brain. And do I ever want to go back to that first couple of years? Hell no. But was it worth it? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was worth
Wow. So at this point, let's see, you're in your early 30s back then,
it.
right?
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yes.
Wow.
30s.
Okay. See, I'm good with numbers.
Career, brand new career,
Yeah.
30s, just married, ready to start a family, and just making a shift from hospitality to personal financial planning, and knew this much about it.
Wow. Wow. Well, by the looks of your ring, it looks like you've done okay.
Yeah, you know why I've done okay? Because I love people and I love numbers.
That's so awesome. So talk to me about what you see in that industry. Um, what are some of the things that are that you see that are stopping people from, because you've got, I'm friends with Grant Cardone, he's a buddy of mine, and then there's people that love Dave Ramsey, and there couldn't, and I'm not a huge fan of Dave Ramsey, but like I they're two totally different mindsets when it comes to financial stuff, right?
Yes.
What do you see, in your opinion, people are doing that are prohibiting them from building wealth?
It's twofold. I think first of all is that they allow their emotions to lead their decision to not learn more. The emotion of I should be farther ahead than I'm at in my life, or I have too much debt, or I'm not making the income I thought I should be making, right? So all of this emotional baggage we have with our money prevents us to be stuck. And I think that's one thing. And the other part of that is when we're stuck, then we don't take action to learn about what's available to us. You're right. Grant, Dave are on totally two different planets.
Right.
And there's so much information right now that's like out there for us to learn from people that say they're professional or say that they're experts, which they're not really. And so
Right.
they might even be experts in their field, right? I mean, obviously, great Grant and Dave Ramsey are experts in their field, but they're so polar opposite. And
Yes,
so sometimes
they
there's so
are.
much information in the middle of that, in its noise, and we don't know who to follow, we don't know who to believe, we don't know what to do, and because we don't have direction and we're not in our lane. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I would say I follow one of them more than the other. But it's about because there's so much thrown at us, we don't really know the best path for ourselves.
Right.
There's multiple paths that work, right? There are multiple
Yes.
paths that work, but
Right.
I think we don't take, so we let the emotion get us stuck, and then that stuckness doesn't allow us to like take action on knowledge of how to really become wealthy.
What do you mean by that? Like, expand on that. And which one do you follow more than the other?
Well, I think they both have valid points. I'm
Yeah.
not a big Dave Ramsey fan in terms of you have to live on nothing and have no debt. Like I
I,
don't believe in that.
how? I don't even get, like, if you're handed millions of dollars or something, then it's easy to not be in
Yeah.
debt. But like, I don't get it. I don't know how you build a business with no debt. Like, how do you do that? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, you work for someone else is really what you do. Yes,
right.
it's a very boxed in thinking. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so I personally don't believe in that either as an entrepreneur. I have mortgage debt, I have business debt. I
Right.
use it to my advantage, right? That's how I'm able to make seven figures a year because
Right.
because I'm leveraging my money. So yes, I don't fall in that camp. And my thought leadership in the financial services industry now is that why are we limiting our 20s and 30s? Like we can still live and experience today and plan for tomorrow if you're leveraging all of your money, if you're minimizing your taxes, if you're having smart debt, if you're playing the game and you're not wasting your money on credit card debt, and you're not wasting your money on bank interest fees, and you're not wasting your money on like the wrong things, then you're able to literally still have some fluidity and flexibility with your spending in your earlier years, in your 20s and 30s. So I do believe in more of like not having that scarcity mindset, but it's more of the abundant type of mindset. In fact, I have abundance tattooed. You probably can't see it, but I have an abundance tattooed on my wrist because it reminds.
Love that.
Yes, because it reminds me that we can still live and spend and experience life. I mean, that's my thought leadership. It's not just about being on a budget and the scarcity mindset and you got to follow this box. Like, no, you can actually create amazing wealth by thinking outside of the box.
You know, one of the things Grant says, and I agree with him, because I've been wealthy and I've been homeless, broke, homeless, literally. And look, he says, what's he say? You don't have what is it? You don't have a spending problem. You have an income problem.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I'm probably butchering it, but I mean, you know, people don't focus on how to make more money. I think, you know, they get stuck in that. I make, you know, $125,000 a year and we got to make this work, babe. Like, no, I want to make $125 million a year.
Right. And it's really about, you know, I do believe, you know, in financial planning, it's this 6-piece puzzle that we have to solve. We have to solve the, you know, your spending and the savings and the taxes and the, you know, your goals. Like when you want to retire, do you even want to retire? Do you want to like work part-time? Like you gotta put all of that together. And some of it is spending. Most of the time it is this lack of income because we resist doing the things that we need to do to gain more income because of our insecurities. I believe it all comes back to our insecurities. And for me, I was so low on the self-esteem. You're like, what? Like even today, you're like, what? Like, I feel really good now because I'm in my early 50s because I figured it out. And I don't really care so much about necessarily what people think because I know who I am and I know the value I deliver. Right. So I have boundaries in my life now, but I didn't figure that out until I was in my mid 40s. And if
by the way, my wife is watching. Show her your shirt. She'll tell us what it says.
Oh, is that Jill?
Jill, yep.
Jill, what does my shirt say? It's in French. I don't know.
Je ne sais quoi. Is that a Q?
I don't know.
Q-U-O-I. So yeah, Jill will know. So go. I'm sorry. I just had to interrupt you for that. Because you said I'm not like you're so secure with yourself that you can wear a shirt. You have no idea what it even says.
It probably says F you and I don't even know.
The last word, my wife says she can't see the bottom word and it's Q-U.
Hold on.
Q-U-O-I. Oh, that poor puppy. Q. Is that a Q?
Yes.
Yeah, Q-U-O-I. I got you. Okay. So there we go. All right. Thank you, Dawn, for sharing your shirt with everybody.
Yes, my pleasure.
Yeah. She's like, that was my only purpose today. So, but no, I love what you're saying because you're right. Once you hit 50, and you know, I'll be 55 next month. I don't know, something changes. It changed for me. Like I just stopped giving a crap what anybody thought of me. Like if you don't like me, then fine. I don't care. Whatever. Like good luck.
And quit trying to be someone else that you're not. Like, you know, like even getting ready today, I was like, you know what? Should I, I'm going live on Facebook. Should I put on a button? No, you know what? I want to wear a t-shirt this is me. Like, I want to be comfortable. I want to deliver value. I want to do it in my way. And if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, oh, well.
Right.
this is me, authentic me, and you can take it or leave it. And so, but I
Yep.
believe everyone deserves to live.
Yes.
Everybody deserves it.
Ah, I agree.
Bam.
I agree. We just had a breakthrough. So Dawn, continue talking about the things that are, I mean, you do, it's not called financial planning, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Okay.
So I'm the CEO of a company called Releve, which means to grow. Releve is a dance term, right? So you get the
Oh,
money and the performing. So it means to be on your toes to grow.
okay.
And so the company's called Releve Financial Group. And
Releve. How do you spell that?
Releve. E
Easy.
with a woo. Oh, it's French too. It's a French day. Because this is French. Like releve is a woo on the E, the woo thing. I don't know what it's called. The thing. The thing.
The
The thing. It's just called a thing. Ken, it's a
the
thing. It's a thing.
I think it's
So
actually, there's actually a term for it, but my wife
I'm
will
a number
probably put that in accent, a U or something, or what's it called, or the
umla or something, maybe like a I don't know. Anyway,
what the heck is that?
who cares? It doesn't matter. So
Okay.
the company, we manage assets. So we manage portfolios, 401ks, IRAs, investable assets, and we give advice based on their financial plan. And our firm does clients' taxes too. So we also do their taxes because throughout my sitting in 10,000 client meetings and giving financial advice, I have found that the biggest mover for people's financial success is learning how they can minimize their taxes and
Right.
how do they minimize their taxes from an income and investment perspective. So I have multiple ways and I educate people multiple ways on how to do that, because once you're able to minimize that tax bill, you're able to live more freely and do the things that you want to do in life. So the tax thing is super, super important. So yes, we do everything. We do comprehensive planning, investment management, and tax management.
Wow. My wife just gave a very detailed.
Let me see what she says. Technically,
Technically, it means I know not what, but idiomatically, I don't even know what idiomatically
I
means.
can't say that word. Yeah.
It means an essence. You can't describe exactly what it is.
Oh, so that's me because you can't describe me.
Yeah.
Jill, first of all, I love you, Jill, and thank you for telling me that it wasn't a swear word or it didn't say anything inappropriately. I appreciate that, and I
Oh my
can't wait
God.
to meet you face to face. So we can.
Jill's gonna, our daughter, she'll be 13 tomorrow. Hello, 13 tomorrow, right?
Good luck with
I
that
know.
one.
We're gonna have 13-year-olds at the house too. That'll be fun. But she's a national champion dancer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That is awesome. I have
So
some dancers too.
you what?
I have a couple of dancers in the house too.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
However, I'm on the tail end of it. My youngest daughter, who's going to be 18 in August, we're going to the Las Vegas Hotter Than Hell location in 2 weeks, and it's the last dance competition, and I'm so freaking excited. It's the last one because I'm so like it takes too much money, time, energy, whatever, and I'm ready to check it off, be like, we're done. Jill.
She says you have a special air about you, and that shirt describes that essence. That's
Well,
so awesome.
Jill, you have a special air about you too, I bet. You're just not live with your husband right now.
She
Okay,
does.
nationals, we're going to Radix Nationals.
We go to
Next
next.
Star. Is Next Star like, oh, is that in Las Vegas too?
Next stars everywhere. I think. I think I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
I
we're going to.
my wife bought me a shirt or something that says I'm a dance dad or something. I don't know. And I'm like, I'm not wearing that
Yeah.
ever. Like,
Well,
no.
Jill, let me just say one thing is that keep your daughter in dance, even though it's expensive and annoying, but she'll be like, she's a teenager tomorrow. Happy birthday to your girl. You're going to want her to deal with some of that teenage years outside of the home too. So keep her in dance,
Yeah.
and let her, dance off some of that hard times that they go through.
Yes, and she just made the elite team here in Dallas, and we just moved to Dallas, and
Yeah.
she made cheerleading. I mean, it's just insane. She's so talented.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
thank you. Thank you. Oh, there's the Barker.
This one wants to dance too. He's like, woo! Say hi. Do you want to dance? No, you got to just quit barking. You sit down and be quiet. Okay.
So listen, you're like my wife and you, she could just come in and interview you. That'd probably
Good.
work out better.
Ken, goodbye. Bring
Yeah,
Jill up.
bye. So talk about your book because you have a
Ooh,
book back there
do you
behind
see
you.
it?
Yeah. Here, let me give you full screen so you can show it off. All right.
This,
Own your worth, grow your wealth, live wealthy. I see what you did there. I see
Mhm,
what you did there. So
mhm.
talk about the book and why did you write a book?
Well, this
Um,
book is
yeah.
my third child that I've birthed. This one doesn't dance. Thank God. This one doesn't dance. No, this book, just like it says, own your worth, grow your wealth. It's through my 20 plus years of experience in helping people with their money. I realized to give people direction and to give them clarity and to really help them have a good relationship with their money, they need to build that internal self-esteem and the external financial security. So, internal security and financial security at the same time. And when you do that, you're able to live life that's more fulfilled, happy, content, free, all of the things. And it's a really good place to be in. So, the book is about teaching a little bit about the technical advice that you need to have a financial plan, and you need to understand taxes, and you need to understand how to minimize your investment fees so you can have your money work hard for you. But it's also about being in your lane, like Grant Cardone says. Like it's about owning your worth. Owning your worth is understanding your weaknesses, your strengths, your vision, your purpose, your goals, your core values, like understanding all that is you so you can grow your income. It's not just about
Hmm.
living off of a minimal income. It's about how do you grow your income and become more of who you are designed to be so you can live more freely. And I'm telling you, as my experience as a CFP, I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the CEO of Releve, right? Like I've in the trenches of personal financial planning. And for you to be successful, for any of us to be successful, you need the worth and the wealth combined. You need to grow both of those. Because if you grow your wealth without the worth, you're a rich a hole. It's true.
Oh my God.
True. And if you grow your worth without having the money, you're a poor, amazing human being. And so we don't want to be poor. We don't want to be rich. We want to be wealthy inside and out. It's the best place to be. And that's what the book is about.
How much of it is focused on mindset?
2/3.
Good. I like that.
Two thirds.
I like
Because again, when I'm a numbers person and I'm not a writer. I had my stepmother actually help me create this, like, help me like formulate it and flow it better, because I'm just like, we make jokes all the time. It's like, I just vomited on paper everything that I knew. And she's like, girl, you need some help. So I was
Right.
like, thank God I had her in my life to help me out with this. But um, my version of the book on the technical side, because I've been so technical for 20 years, she's like, Dawn, this is becoming a textbook and you don't want it to become a textbook. You
Right.
want to teach people more of the why they need to understand this, not the how. They hire you for the how, because
Right.
otherwise you're just gonna, you're gonna put your audience to sleep. So with her direction, we decided that 2/3 of the book is really about breaking through your worth.
Yeah.
How do you break through the life's challenges that are going to throw you, that's going to not have you live a worthy life? Because
Right.
I have challenges every single day in my life. Like, literally yesterday I was so crabby, I said the Effenheimer about 1,000,000 times. I still have all of the challenges every single day, and it's like, how do we break through those? And so I have to continue to educate myself on my own education,
Yeah.
to when life throws us these poop storms. I know we're live on Facebook, so I don't want to swear. But like, life throws us these storms and these challenges, like, how do we get through them to get to our end goal of what we really want out of our life?
There's my buddy Debbie,
Hi.
and Megan says she's going to get your book. She wants to know, what are your secrets? You look amazing at 50.
Oh, okay. First of all, Megan, I'm 52 and a half. Um,
Hold it. We don't count half years.
we don't count half years.
That's when we're like 13.
I'm going to tell you again, it's all of the things. It's living and breathing this. When you live and breathe your internal wealth and your external wealth, and you have money to support you, it makes you feel really good. Barker, come here. Let's talk about this.
Barker.
I think that's what it is. It's also, and it's also the technical stuff that we need to do as we age too. Let's not talk like the technical stuff. You got to drink, like, I drink 3 or 4 of these a day. It's water. There's not like vodka in here. It's water. Like, I drink water. I eat healthy 90% of the time. I do a little Botox here and there. I get my hair done, whatever. It's what it is.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
But
Holy
it's
crap.
true. Like, it's true. Like, we don't, like, people want to hide that. No, like, literally. In fact, look at this. I'm due for Botox. Like, my whole forehead. I'm like 4 months overdue. So I need to get in there and get a little.
Just stop that. That's no.
Hey, I'm answering the guest question.
Oh my God. Wow. I feel like we just made a left turn at Albuquerque. And if you're not from the 70s, you won't understand that reference.
Exactly. Oh, and by the way, people, I really believe in intermittent fasting. I've been doing that for about, I don't know, a year and a half. So I just drink black coffee and water before noon. And then I start eating my feeding window, like I'm at the zoo. My feeding window is from noon to 6 p.m. And then I eat, like, I can't eat whatever I want, but I try to eat really healthy during that time. And I'm not hungry. Like, I literally, for the first 3 months, you're like, you're hungry in the morning, but now I'm not literally hungry at all until noon. And I do believe that really helps, because I'm pre-diabetic because of my family history. And I believe it really helps the sugar levels and all of the things.
So your feeding window is because I've been curious about the intermittent fasting.
Yep.
In fact, I thought I'm gonna look into that right after I get done eating this Subway sub at midnight. I'm kidding.
You're gonna hate yourself. I know you are. Yes.
It's the chocolate chip cookies. Oh, they just
You can still have.
So
I still have them. You can have the chocolate
really?
chips. Yes. You just have one, not 16.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
I you know, when I was I mean, I was always the really skinny kid growing up. Like I was too skinny to play football. I was, and then like what happened? Like anyway, so yeah, I get it. So Debbie says, and taking Berber,
berberine before meals helps too. Oh, thank you. You know what?
I don't even
Thank you
know what
for
that
saying
is.
that. I remember I've seen that before. But
Hmm.
before meal, what is it? What is berberine? I know I'm not saying it
Oh
wrong, but
Lord, you're left-handed. My wife loves you more now.
I'm
She's left-handed.
a lefty too. Yes.
Yeah. My oldest daughter is left-handed as well. So where, first off, where can people get that book, and how do they follow you, and what's your website? I should have asked you that a while ago, but
It's all good. No,
I'm a horrible host.
you are.
Um,
Just kidding.
what is your website address? Wow.
Just
Jeez.
kidding. Click. We just ended the broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the book, I prefer everyone to purchase the book through the website because there's extra things that I give out, extra freebies.
Okay.
So the website is just my name. It's Dawn, which you can see here, DAWN, the last name Dalby, DAHLBY.com. You
Is
can
it
put
Dalby or Dalby?
doll, like a doll. Like if you had a doll when
Dalby.
you're a kid to hold, like a baby doll, Dalby.
I didn't have one of those, but so Dawn Dahlby.com is your
Yep.
website, and that's, yes, Delta Dawn.
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have
Could it be a faded rose?
on by? Did
That
I
is-
hear you say, I want to meet you here today? That's from the 80s, isn't it? Oh my God.
No, that's not, definitely not from the 80s. That's the
No,
70s.
but the 70s. Yes, the
That's
70s.
definitely, look, Debbie said I'm singing. This
Yeah.
like that's it's like gone completely off the rails. Now I just pictured Elf. I'm singing. So, oh my gosh, that's so funny. And my gosh, you can sing. So what's next for you? I mean, you're running a multi-million dollar business. You're rich in every area of your life, it sounds like. Your person, well, you need to get a little bit more animated, but um no, you have a really incredible personality. Like, what is Robert Brooker, do you know Ken can play sing? So
Out.
no, we're not doing that. But so what's next for you?
Here's what's next. And I've been working really hard on this. It's my goal is to teach the non-millionaires how to become millionaires. My whole first half of my career has been helping people that are millionaires grow their money into multi-millions. And I now want to show people that are in their 30s and 40s, whether they're entrepreneurs or executives or small business owners, I want to show them the power of how their money can work for them when they're making really good decisions. So I have a goal of helping 1 million people become millionaires. And I have about, let's see, I'm 52, 62. I have about 15 years to do that. So with your help of sharing my content out and
Yeah.
purchasing the book or taking one of my digital courses, or if you have investable assets if you have $500,000 of investable assets and you need trusted fiduciary advice, like I'm here to show you how to get there. And so,
But
oh,
is that anywhere in the US? Are you
anywhere in the US, we can help people. So Releve helps people that have a half a million of like 401ks, IRAs, like people that have a half a million in their investments already. Then what we do is we do their financial planning, we manage their assets, we do their taxes, we do all of the things for them. If you have less than a half a million, then you get to work with me in our digital online platform where I'm going to teach you how to gain the millions into your portfolio. And we're going to solve it. We're going to solve, I call what is your wealth style, WELL style. What is your wealth style? So you can be in your lane. Not everyone needs to earn $1 million a year, and that's okay too. But we want you to earn as much money to stay in your lane and to have a financial plan so you stop worrying about either having enough or you stop worrying about being enough. Like we're going to stop the fear and the anxiety so you can live life on your own terms and have the right type of money to support exactly how you choose to live. That's my passion. That's why I'm here. And I need your help to help me help millions.
Well, we're gonna get you on an Amazon Live as well. I'm gonna invite you to I told you, depending on how this went, would determine whether or not I invite you to Amazon. So
Yes.
you've done well.
Well,
So
I sang. You didn't like it that I sang and that,
I
like
loved it.
hard talking. Now I have my teenage daughter. I see her be like in front of me. She's like trying to video me. Like what is mom doing with the lights on? And yeah.
So look, Debbie said she meant one. She corrected herself, but she has a very big show called Find It, and I'm sure she would love to have you on as a guest on her show.
Yeah.
Debbie's one of my students, actually. I love, and Debbie's awesome. She's probably my number one student. She's amazing.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll connect you and Debbie if you want to be on her show. That
I
is,
love it. I love helping. You know what I love to do. So
yeah.
I need to stop talking.
I have a question because I spent 2.5 hours last night on a live stream with my dear friend and my brother, Rami El Batrawi, and Rami is a billionaire who's been homeless and was a billionaire, then homeless, and now's a billionaire on a whole different level again. It's
Wow.
an unbelievable story, but he built his wealth on the principles of Think and Grow Rich. And that's a different. I said to him last night, I said, to go from millionaire mindset, which he was worth 50 million at 23 years old, to go from a millionaire mindset to billionaire is a huge leap. I mean, it's totally different. And so I know, and I'm pretty sure it sounds like, getting from that ceiling, the law of the lid that John Maxwell talks about, getting from that ceiling of, I remember when I was making $700 a week and I thought I was the man. And I probably was back then, right? 30 some years ago, but I really did. I thought I am the schnizzle, and like, you know what I mean? Like you're just like, but like when you hit that and you're like, wow, this is unbelievable. I can't believe I make $1,000 a week. Oh my God. And then it's like, well, until you meet somebody that's making 100 million a year, and then you're like, I'm like, I'm not even in that arena. How do you, and I know we're over time here a little bit, but how do you get from that mindset? How do you help people break through that mindset? Because it's a mindset.
It is. I believe it's twofold. It's about, if you really want to get to that next level, we're talking from 7 to 8 figures or whatever your next breakthrough is It's about giving up the control and knowing that you really need to rely on other people that have opposite skill sets of you, that you have to give up the control and become really, really good at one thing. You need to be really, really good at delivering and executing that one thing and giving up the control over all of the other things and having a kick butt team surrounding you. That's, I believe, how you get to that next level. Because so many times as entrepreneurs, we have our hands in too many different things. And we're afraid to hire the right people to get us to that next level. I'm telling you, go into debt to hire your next person because it's an investment, not an expense. That is, to me, what I have found. If you really want to get to the next level, you give up the control and you don't necessarily care about everyone's opinions because you can't do it. If you want to go to 8 figures, you got a mess. It's a mess and you got to let go of the mess and let other people deal with it. I really believe that's the key. Do you agree, Ken?
Listen, I'm sitting here thinking I invested $20,000 in a program with Grant. And after a year of being in that program, I was like, the number one takeaway I got from that was to grow, to expand, you have to have a team. You have to have a team. And I could have just had you on the show and saved myself 20 grand.
Well, now you owe me 20 grand.
I love it. That's so awesome. I love it. So my last question, what's that?
Well, I was just going to say the team frees up your time. What this comes down to, really, if we're really talking about the why, it's because your time is more valuable than your money. And your time, how are you spending your time? Are you spending your time on emails and like, are you spending your time on learning? Like Grant teaches like real
emails
estate,
and what? Emails
and all, like, well, we want to be on social media, but and everything. Like you're spending your time. It's all about your time.
Yes.
Speaking of, let's go. What's your last question?
Do you have to go?
No, but what's your last? No,
what holds people back from having it all? Wealth, health, everything. What's the number one thing stopping people?
Low self-esteem.
Thank you. I agree.
You're welcome.
Dawn Dahlby. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you to everybody who's been on here, everybody that shared. Thank you for sharing. Dawn, you rock. Thank you so much. Stay with me. I'm going to end the live stream, but stay with me and I'll be right back. Everybody have an awesome day. Thank you. Make sure you go to dawndahlby.com, DAWNDAHLBY.com. Go to her website, get her book, get all the extras that come with it, and we will see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much, Dawn.
Thank you.